The Eddystone Lighthouse stood miles out at sea, cut off from the mainland by fierce tides and howling winds. Thomas Flannery, the senior keeper, and his assistant, William, worked in shifts to keep the light burning. To sailors, that light was life itself. To them, it was honor. In December 1940, a violent storm struck the English Channel. Waves rose like mountains. The lighthouse shook from its very foundation. The men radioed the mainland, but no ship could reach them. They were trapped. Inside, the glass shattered. Supplies ran low, and for 3 endless days, they kept the lamp burning with their bare hands, feeding it oil, shielding it from wind, fighting the storm itself. On the 4th night, the flame began to flicker. Thomas climbed the spiral stairs, his hands bleeding, his clothes torn. He looked out through the storm and saw a ship fighting to stay afloat. If the light died, that ship would crash into the rocks. So, with everything he had left, Thomas held the lantern himself, and for hours stood against the storm to keep that beam alive. When the storm finally calmed, a rescue crew reached the lighthouse. They found Thomas barely conscious, his face burned by wind and salt. William had stayed beside him the entire time, keeping him alive. Both men survived, but their hands would never fully heal. When asked why they didn't leave the lighthouse, Thomas simply said, "If we left, who would guide them home?" Years later, the Eddystone Lighthouse still stands, rebuilt and automated, but inside, a small brass plaque reads, "To the men who kept the light alive." Heroes are not always soldiers or kings. Sometimes they're just ordinary people who refuse to let the light go out. Even the smallest light can guide thousands through the storm.